Good morning, Yuri, and welcome to our assembly this week on resilience. This week's theme, I've chosen two different examples of people that have really shown resilience in different ways. The first one you can see from the picture is the Brownlee brothers. Now, you will probably remember from the Olympics, the 2012 Olympics. These two brothers are exceptional athletes, but they really were made famous at the time, not just because they're brilliant athletes, but because of the resilience that they had shown. And one of the brothers was so close to the end and just almost, a broken man, really struggling. Didn't think he could get through, and probably just felt like he wanted to give up and just collapse on the floor. But what happened was his brother saw what he was doing and that he was really struggling, and despite his own difficulties and his own pain and thinking, I don't know how I can get through this, he was like, look, we're not going to give up, and if I have to carry you, that's what happens. I have to carry you, and we are going to get through this. So much so that when they got to the end, he pushed his brother just in front of him so that he completed it first by 0.1 of a second, probably a tiny amount. And they physically and mentally gave absolutely everything they possibly could, which was, an unbelievable achievement, but also shows the kindness and the other factors that can be just as important as resilience when we're thinking about being successful. The other example, slightly different. I don't know if you've heard of this man, and I've got a picture of Zayed on the PowerPoint. Now, he is famous for being, up until I think most recently is why I don't think his record has been beaten, the person who can speak the most languages in the world. So he's documented as being able to speak 59 different languages fluently, which, as somebody that speaks one language and is trying to slowly but surely learn a little bit of another one, is just absolutely unbelievable. Still the same level of resilience, in more of a mental capacity than a physical capacity. But if you think about the hours that will need to be dedicated to be able to learn all of those languages, and yes, over time, some languages are similar to others, but there's no real substitute for that hard work and that graft and that resilience of thinking, oh, I thought it was this, oh no, it wasn't, and getting things wrong time and time again, and then slowly but surely coming together and being able to achieve something. So I want you to think about resilience this week as something that it isn't a one-stop shop. It isn't a one fix for everyone. It's lots of different examples of physical, mental, social challenges that we're all going to face, and there isn't going to be an end to it. It's something that takes all of your life to develop. Some things you're going to find a little bit harder than others, and there isn't one answer for it, okay? It isn't always that glamorous, and the Brownlee brothers, or people that win Nobel Prizes and really famous people that show resilience is great because it gives us an understanding of what other people are going through. But real resilience is often, not that fun. It's sitting at home, struggling, feeling upset, thinking, I can't put up this flat pack furniture. I can't understand the science homework. I'm just not getting it. Other people are getting it. But it's that resolve in those tough moments where you think it's impossible. You want to cry, you want to get angry. But that's what it really comes down to, is when you need to find that inner strength and think, actually, no, I can do this. It might take a little bit longer. It might be a little bit harder, but I can do it. And it's the little things that you're doing every day that make the biggest impact, rather than waking up one day and thinking, the world is going to change because of this one day. It might, but the most successful things that we do are as a result of lots of work over a long period of time, lots of struggles, lots of failures, lots of, I don't know if this is going to work out. And thinking back to how everything seems impossible or seems unbelievably difficult until you achieve it. It seemed unbelievably difficult when you were a small child and you were a baby and you were learning to walk. and that resilience and that difficulty that you see in smaller children. And they think, I'm never going to get this, and they fall over and they find different ways of achieving it until it's done. And it's the same when you learn to read. It's the same when you learn to ride a bike. It's the same when you learn to drive. All of these different challenges at that time seem unbelievably difficult, and you don't know how other people achieve it, and you doubt yourself, as we all do all of the time. But when you next find something really difficult and you think, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, think back to the most recent thing that you've achieved that you didn't think you'd be able to do. And that might not be school related, that might be friendship related, that might be that you were nervous phoning up a shop to see if they had a new book in stock. It could be absolutely anything. But once you've achieved it, you realise how powerful you are and how minimal the barriers are in your life. And you just have to think all the time, I will get through this. I just need to work harder. I need to find a new strategy. I need to ask for help. There's lots and lots of different ways of doing it, but nothing can stop you when you really want to achieve your goals. This week, focus on what it is that's preventing you from achieving those goals. Work towards it. Find new ways of achieving it.